What's up, everybody? Back with another one of my commander decks. It's my Orzhov commander. It is Kambal, Consul of Allocation. So whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, that player loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. That's it. That's all he does. Card sees a lot of play in Vintage. Not a ton in Commander, but I did want to build a deck around him because I have played against the deck a long time ago with someone I knew had one, and I was just shocked at how much life you can gain off of this guy, and nobody ever gets rid of it because it's only 2 life. Everybody just sits there and takes it. They're like, oh, well, I guess I'll cast my Force of Will to counter that thing, and then take the 2 extra damage from Kambal. It's like they just don't want to waste a removal spell on it because it's, at the end of the day, it's just a 2/3 and that's all he has. But you can gain a ton of life from this thing, and people just usually end up letting it go and letting it go. So it's a very sneaky deck. Can gain you a ton of life, and then the goal is to basically just pay that life into, use it like a resource to take our opponents out. So let's get into it. Alright, so first the lands. Running quite a few lands in here because it is Orzhov, so obviously it's notoriously bad at not a lot of ramp in these colors, let's just say that. So I got 10 basic swamps, 10 plains, and then to some of the dual colored and utility land. So obviously we got a command tower because we are playing commander, so why wouldn't we put it in there? Fetid Heath, just good color fixing if we need to make black or white. Definitely does help in this deck. Temple of Silence, a scry helps. Bounce land, Reflecting Pool, Evolving Wilds. One of the modal dual face lands, I threw it in here because I figured why not. Basically takes a slot of a swamp or a plains on one card. So I figured they're kind of getting to the point where they're auto includes. I mean, they don't come in tap, so why not play it? It's better than a basic if you're going to run basics. Nykthos, pretty dang good in the deck. This is one of the ways you can obviously ramp in these colors if you are playing quite a few permanents in this deck. So, Godless Shrine, Cave of Corleos, and Isolated Chapel. All right, now let's talk about the enchantment package, which we do have quite a few. It's a pretty good spread of enchantments, artifacts, instants, sorceries, and creatures in this deck. So got quite a few of each. It's pretty even split. So we got Underworld Connections, just being able to tap and pay a life to draw a card on your land. Pretty good. Just remember though that land can no longer tap for mana, so you have to be a little careful with this. Shadows of the Past, whenever a creature dies, scry 1. That's a creature, not just yours. I'm kind of shocked I don't see this in more decks, especially if you certain color combinations just don't, and this is one. It's kind of a tough color combination for certain effects. Obviously, there's plenty of black card draw, but scry there's not a lot of, so this is good to scry. Land tax, yeah, if you're running colors that can't ramp, land tax is going to be one of your best friends. Card's been great since it came out in the 90s, and it's great now. Authority of the Consuls. Anytime I play against this card, I honestly just put it in here because I'm running white, but this card does so much work, and it's another one of those sneaky cards that no one ever gets rid of it. Because they figure, well, if everybody else's stuff's coming in tapped, then I guess it's fine. I mean, it's not like that big of a burden. but it just does work with the one, the fact you can gain a life. Gift of Immortality, being able to enchant the creature, and then when it dies, you return Gift of Mortality attached to it to the battlefield at the beginning of the next turn. Pretty good effect. Luminarch Ascension, you get this down on, if you go Soul Ring, Plains, Luminarch Ascension, say go, a lot of times you're making angels pretty quick because it does trigger at the end of, at the beginning of each opponent's end step. So one rotation, it can start firing out angels quick. It'll also make you the target and quite possibly make you the first one eliminated from the game, but it is what it is. Smothering Tide. Obviously, if we're having trouble with ramp, this is the best white ramp card. Hell, at this point, it might be one of the best ramp cards in the game. So I really wish I would have taken my own advice and bought like 20 of these when they were $5 a piece before they hit $50 a piece. So it is what it is. I knew it was going to go up, just didn't come full trigger on it. Bolus of Citadel, we got tons of life, so why not turn that into a resource and use our life to pay for what we're playing instead of mana. Hedron's Archive. I'm running the Idol of Endurance. Aetherflux Reservoir, one of our win conditions in the deck. We're going to be gaining a ton of life. It's not unusual to have 70-80 life in this deck. And you slam this thing down and, at that point you've got it. Because you can just hang that trigger over everybody's head and just know that you can pay 50 life and dome them at, instant speed. So the card's very strong in the deck. One of the best cards in the deck. Mox Amber. Firemine Vessel. Alhammer's Archive. Just if you're playing life gain at all, this card is absolutely insane. It's going to double up all that. It's going to double up your card draw. Card's insane. Soul Ring. Arcane Signet. Swiftfoot Boots will be our last one. So that's it. I really only run one. I don't run the package. I don't run Swiftfoot and Lightning Greaves because, to be honest with you, Kambal just doesn't get removed much. All right, so let's move on to the sorcery package. So we've got Entreat the Angels, just a great card as long as it's not in your opening hands or your first 4 or 5 draws. Never not happy to see it when you can pull it for that miracle cost. Sign in Blood, just good card draw in black. Terminus, same thing, being able to miracle this and then just bury all the creatures, pretty damn good. Revival Revenge, basically just there for the flexibility of having a dual face card on it. Peer into the Abyss, so this card's really bad in most decks, but this can just destroy people. I don't ever cast this on myself, though I guess I could. But usually when you cast this, you're just taking someone out of the game. It's just basically saying, yeah, they're going to draw half the cards in their library and lose half their life. But at that point, they probably already are down, beyond half. So it'll take them down so low where it's just going to finish them off. Damnable Pact, same thing. You cast this on you or somebody else just to get that extra life loss going. Reanimate. Dread Return, so we do want to be able to get back some of our creatures. Night's Whisper. Debt of the Deathless. Unearth. I don't think I've ever cycled this thing. It's always just good to get the creature. Most of the stuff in this deck is very low costed, so. Brought Back, another great one to be able to play at instant. This is our instant package now, but being able to play this at instant speed. Really good to be able to bring 2 things back. Side note, you can also target your land, like if you wanted to target, like a Evolving Wilds and a creature, you can do that just to get some form of ramp in these colors. Rally Ancestors, great card. In fact, its instant speed makes it even better, being able to bring those creatures back to the graveyard. Even if you do have to exile them, Utter End, just good removal. Disenchant. Swords to Plowshares. Generous Gift. Path to Exile. Enlightened Tutor. That's the last of our instants. So let's go ahead and move on to our artifacts. Artifact creatures. So this is our creature package here. So the first one's an artifact creature. It's Noxious Gearhulk. Just great removal. In fact, it has Menace is pretty good too. Luminous Broodmoth, this thing is, whew, it's a strong card. So basically when it's out, something dies, it goes to the graveyard and it comes back with a flying counter on it. So basically what it means is your creature dies, goes to the graveyard, comes back, and now it gains flying. I mean, the card is very strong card. Great card. Keeper of the Cord, also just a phenomenal card. I mean, if it's got that much text on it, you know it's got to be good. Emiria Shepherd, same thing, being able to bring stuff back from the graveyard, and then the fact that if it's or to your hand, and the fact that if it's a plains that enters the battlefield, it it goes back to the card goes back to the battlefield instead. Super strong. Sarah Ascendant, probably your best play one. Turn one, Soul Ring, Plains, Sarah Ascendant, go. I mean, having a 6/6 flying, lifelinker is pretty damn good on turn one. It's like, it's pretty absurd. So, I will tell you though, if you run this in any of your decks and you do get it out on turn one, you're gonna have to bulldog somebody. And I know that's mean, but if you want to just roll a dice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but whoever gets it, man, you got to just go after them like a junkyard dog. You can't let up. You're gonna have to take them out quick, because you can't just. You can't dilly-dally around. You got to start hitting them quick and fast in this deck. Soul Warden, just there strictly for the life gain. The fact that it's a one-mana creature, you're able to pull it out of your deck quite a few different ways with this, or out of your graveyard. So it's just there to help with the life gain. Same thing with Suture Priest, Solemn Simulacrum, Knight of the White Accord, because I mean, again, I sound like I'm beating a dead horse, but there's no ramp in these. Not much ramp in these colors, so we'll take what we can get, even though it only works when we're behind. So, Daxos, Blessed by the Sun, Ganti, Lord of Luxury, everybody's boogeyman, opposition agent. So, yeah, I mean, the card probably should have never been printed, along with Hull Breacher. No, they're not fun to play against. They're really not even that fun to play, but the damn things help you win games. So, I mean, what are you going to do? If you can't beat them, join them. Ranger, Captain of Eos, being able to get those creatures definitely help. High Priest of Penance, Veto, Thorn of the Dusk Rose. Whenever you gain life, they lose that much life. So, we're gaining life. Why not? Crick, Son of Yawgmoth, we got a lot of life, so being able to turn all that black into Phyrexian mana, so we can just, instead of being able to have to tap lands for it, we just paid the 2 life for each black pip. It's right where we want to be at. Tide Drinker, Speaker of the Heavens, Soul's Attendant, Archon of Sun's Grace, Grim Horospex, Skyclave Apparition, another sneakily good card that's come out and recently within the past year. Pretty good. In the past, Wizards would print this type of effect, and it basically would, it would come back when the card left. Whereas this one, they don't get the card back. They just get a token that has the same converted mana cost as the card. So the card is really, really good, strong removal. Drana's Emissary, at the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Eily, Eternal Pilgrim, I mean, just a way to be able to sacrifice stuff if we need to. Just good. It's got, it's basically a planeswalker on the creature. It's got a few different modes, all of which are useful for us. Rock's Faith Mender, it's just basically going to double that life gain for us. So if you would gain life, you gain twice as much life. Cavalier of Dawn, great in the deck. Zulaport Cutthroat, Paladin of Atonement, Midnight Reaper, and then I've also got 2 Planeswalkers. I've got Kaya Orzhov Upstart, as well as Sorin Vengeful Bloodlord. So these are good. Being able to exile up to 2 target cards from opponent's graveyard and then gain 2 life. Pretty good. We don't have a whole lot of graveyard hate in here, but it's nice to have at least 1 piece. And then as long as it's not as long as it's my turn, all of my creatures gain lifelink with him. So pretty good there too. So basically what the goal of the deck basically is to turn life into a resource. I'm not running like Sanguine Bond, Exquisite Blood combos or anything like that. Nothing too crazy. No super huge drain effects in here. No Exsanguinate, that kind of thing. Because I'm not, I don't even run the Kambal Coffers and Orborg combo for black mana. But it's a fair deck. It's a deck that I play when I kind of want, it's a powered down deck. It's fun. It can do some interesting things, but it's not trying to, just blow you out of here with huge black mana, life drain spells, or, combo. Whenever I gain life, you lose life, and then, whenever your opponent loses life, you gain life. So it just creates this chain. It's not one of those. It's basically, it's really pretty much a white weenie deck in a sense, with a life gain theme, I guess you'd say. But obviously, yeah. That's it. That being able to turn a life into a resource, but not just do the typical thing, of just trying to combo out with the Exquisite Blood combo. So basically that's it. That's my Kambal deck. I will tell you that this thing will gain you a ton of life, and though a lot of times the deck doesn't win, you're going to be hanging around most games, even if you do get attacked a lot, because you've got so much life. Yeah, that's basically it. That's the deck. Have a good day.